Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for Concord and Ninth. Thanks for joining me today. I'm always really excited to introduce you all to a brand new Turnabout stamp from Concord and Ninth, and this new Pop Heart stamps and coordinating die set is no exception. You're gonna love the fun and funky geometric pattern that this Turnabout creates, and I'm gonna show you how to use this Turnabout stamp in today's video as well. Now in the Pop Hearts Turnabout stamp set, they've included not only the Turnabout, but a few little detail dies as well as some sentiments. And then this large coordinating die set has some great sentiments, a perfect little heart, and some great big shapes that are perfect for using on card fronts or for making shaped cards as well. Now, every Turnabout comes with a positioning guide, so I just wanted to point that out. Be sure you hang on to it because you're gonna need it to position it in your MISTI stamping tool. So I'm starting by positioning my white cardstock that's cut to 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches on my all-in-one Turnabout jig. And then I'm going to pull in my MISTI stamping tool and I'm gonna tuck this jig into the lower right-hand corner. And I'll just make sure that the number 1 is in that upper right-hand corner. Now you can see I already have my Pop Hearts Turnabout stamp positioned in my MISTI stamping tool, and now I am ready to start stamping and turning. Now I'm starting out with Briar Rose ink, and I'm just going to ink up that stamp in my MISTI stamping tool, and then I'll stamp it onto my cardstock. Now after I've stamped my first color of ink, I'm gonna go ahead and take my all-in-one Turnabout jig and turn it just 1/4 of a turn here. So this number 1 in the upper right hand corner is now going to turn, and now I have a number 2 in my upper right hand corner. This helps me kind of keep track of where I'm at. Now I've cleaned off my stamp and I'm inking it up in some Stardust ink. Now the thing I love about Turnabout stamps is that you really can create your own kind of custom pattern paper, and Concord and Ninth offers a variety of different designs. Now that I've stamped my second time, I'm going to turn my Turnabout jig again, just 1/4 of a turn. That number 3 is going to be in the upper right hand corner. And now I'm inking up my stamp with avocado ink, and I'm going to stamp that again onto my cardstock. Now I'm using 5.5 inches by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock here, but you could definitely use an A2 size card as well. Now once I've stamped my third color of ink, I'm going to turn again, clean my stamp, and then I'm going to ink up with Dragon Fruit ink. So for this stamping, the number 4 is in that upper right hand corner of my all-in-one Turnabout jig, and I know that I'm going to stamp in the right place. I am just going to stamp this right onto my white cardstock, and look at this gorgeous pattern that I've created. Now to remove your cardstock from the all-in-one Turnabout jig, because it is a sticky surface, go ahead and just roll the actual Turnabout jig away from the cardstock. By doing it this way, you're going to keep your cardstock completely flat and avoid any warping. Now you can stamp all 4 times, or you can stamp just 1, 2, or 3 times to create various different looks, and that's what I'm showing you here. I've stamped in Ballet Slipper, Nectar, Tide Pool, and Pink Lemonade to create this grouping of patterns here, and you can see how they're all very unique and different looking, and I love the way the pattern builds. I also love this color combination. I've used Pink Lemonade, Grapefruit, Peacock, and Tide Pool for that final color combination. Now let's have a look at this big, beautiful die set. I love that they've included these large shapes and these large sentiments that you can either use together or separately, and you can use them in a knockout way like those larger shapes on the top, or you can actually use the letters. Now there is this plus and this M included in the die set as well, because you can rearrange the letters to say you plus me. And then of course they've included some perfect hearts once again. Now if you die cut these shapes without the sentiment kind of nestled in there, you can use those for some shaped cards as well, or you can use the sentiments on their own, and I'll show you a card example of that here in a bit. Now I've used both the stamp and die set together to create this fun and funky card, and I cannot lie, it's totally giving me Small World vibes from Disneyland, and I know my friends at Concord and Ninth are fans of Disney. So we'll see if they agree. I think it's just a fun pattern that this Pop Hearts Turnabout creates. Now for the next card, I only stamped 3 times, and then I used one of the small sentiments included in the stamp set, along with a sentiment from the In the Bag stamp set embossed onto some colored cardstock, and I've popped up a few of those hearts from the die set. Now this large circle I die cut from some vellum, and then I just scored lines in it to kind of match that little detail piece that I stamped inside that circle on my pattern. And finally, I have a card where I've used just one of the sentiments on its own. Now this would make a great shaker window. I've just layered this window over kind of an ombre blended piece of white glitter cardstock, added a few hearts on there as well as some colorful strips, and you can see that card came together really quickly. Now I love a turnabout stamp because they encourage me to play with different color combinations, and so I hope you have a great time experimenting with different color combinations with this pop heart stamp and coordinating die set. And keep in mind, you can always substitute one of those turns for a metallic embossing powder to add a little shine as well. Thanks so much for joining me for this look at the brand new Pop Hearts Turnabout stamp set and coordinating die set from Concord and 9th. Happy crafting, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.